the Managing Director, PM for Success Limited, Dr. David Emumena.
Years and haven't worked in the industry building capacity. One of the things we find out is that the oil and gas, the oil company, we're talking about the IOCs, the NOCs, those that are operating in the downstream sector and all, they are the ones that fund HCD. And I will give a very clear example. And I think it's something that OGTAN members should also take on. A lot of OGTAN members go to NCDMB looking for funding for HCD programs. But the real owners, the ones that provide the money for HCD, is the IOC, because they are working on the project base. What is the project base? What does that mean? For every project that is given above $1 million, a certain percentage of it is used for capacity in the oil and gas industry. Now, if you want to get this job, which is one thing that is very key, you are going to NCDMB or you're going to the IOC, you're not going to get the job. So the first person you need to look for as a registered OGTAN member is the service provider. So for example, in the example of the Bonga Nut, I will mention the HCD value, but who is going to pay that money? It is SNEPCO that is going to pay that money for the HCD. But SNEPCO is not going to give the money to the OGTAN members. It's going to pass it through the contractors, those that are providing the services, that are delivering the job for SNEPCO on the back of the Bonga Nut. So you target those companies, the likes of Technical FMC, the likes of Saipem, all of those companies. You meet with them. By the time you get to them, you submit your training plan. It goes through their processes and it meets the 10 field readiness skill, because whatever training that is going on right now in the industry, you need to understand that it's around that 10 top skill. So if it's not around that 10 top skills, whatever you're doing, you're just making a mistake. So if it's in line with that top 10 skill and it passes through the service provider, which is Saipem for example, it gets to SNEPCO, SNEPCO now gets to NCDMB for approval. What basically NCDMB is going to do is to approve. But the money is being released by SNEPCO to Saipem, and Saipem in turn will now pay you, the OGTAN company. It is the IOC or the Settler for example, or Midwestern for example, any Western that are operators are the ones that are paying for the HCD. Now, the PIA also make it in such a way that the host community development fund is also there as well. Now, the whole community development fund is also coming from the IOCs as well. So the entire value chain of who fund HCD in the oil and gas industry is the operators, whether it's the IOC, or that is the marginal field operator, whether it's the NOC, whether it's NNPC or Settler. Those are the ones that fund HCD in the oil and gas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So